The following podcast is being brought to you by the Defy Life Podcast Network.
This week on the Defy Life Podcast, the guys tell us what they know from week 1 in the NFL, talk NBA playoffs, answer a listener question, and as always, they wrap things up with some trivia. All that and more. Let's get to it. Yeah, that's what it is. I guess we gotta do it then. You alright? Chill, pool, out, money, West Coast. Let's get it. Strap in, let's take a ride. Oh yeah, it's about that time, right? Been waiting all week to get to this. It's finally time to defy life. Let's chop it up, keep it real, no other way. That's what we do. We might disagree, but it's all love. Guarantee we gon' speak the truth. Yeah, this hit different. My guys with me now. Who's with us? Stick around for a few minutes. It's contagious. You'll get it. You downloaded the realest. Don't feel us, but get out. You not rocking with Defy Life, then what's your life about? This ain't Defy Life. Told you. This is Defy Life. Welcome back to the Defy Life Podcast, powered by the Defy Life Podcast Network. This episode is sponsored by Bud Bottles, home of the Bud Bottle and the Bud Freshener. Please visit budbottles.com for your odor eliminating needs. This is episode 173. Y'all come on in and wipe your feet. Close the door behind you. I'm your host, J.R. Glimpf. Joined as always by my wonderful co-host, Alvin Glimpf, Thomas Stevens. What's good with you, Al?
Ain't nothing much, man. As these numbers just creep up, we in the 173. Just remind me how an honor this is to be doing this for this long, and just glad to be here, man. It's Tuesday. Good to hear y'all voices. What up, fellas? And looking forward to the show.
Damn right. Shout out to the 173, whatever zip code that is. I don't know. Yeah, area code. Sorry. Shout out to the 173.
Hey, be careful. That might be some set you claiming. And folks
might
be like, "What up, fool? I heard you representing the 173."
Right.
Yo, son.
I feel like, what's your set, son? I'll shout you out too whenever we get to that episode.
Some dude gonna walk up with a tattoo on his neck, 173. Like, what up, fool? I heard you was repping our clique. You ain't from the 173.
What's set you claiming?
Trizzy.
Nigga, what set you claiming, man? Episode 173. I don't know what you're
talking
talking
about. Episode 173, my brother. That's it. This episode. Next week is 174. It ain't even that serious.
Right.
Claiming a different set every week. What's good, Pooh?
Every week, fool.
Not much. Chilling, man. I'm intrigued by this Game 7. I never thought it would get this far between the Nuggets and the Clippers, but I mean the Nuggets seem to be dangerous. They're young, they're live, they don't know any better. So I'm interested to check that out.
Yeah, it should be interesting. And the Clippers were built strictly to beat LeBron and nobody else. But we'll talk about that later. About that later. But yeah, man, you're right. This Game 7 is going to be fun. So we're going to try to get on here and get out of here so we can enjoy this Game 7. We don't get much of those anymore. So, we are, sorry, my wife coming in interrupting the show like this is one I shut or something. I don't know what a problem is.
That was me. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Like, it's a conspiracy.
They just got comfortable. They done came downtown Nebraska and got comfortable as hell. That's all right. Man, well, before we get too deep, like always, want to shout out our patrons. Man, folks are always asking, what's the best way to support the network? Go to patreon.com/Go Defy Life and become a patron of Defy Life. You can help support our growth and allow us to host events and continue to work in our communities. For less than your favorite fast food combo, you can support Defy Life. Please visit GoDefyLife.com for all of our written content. It's the granddaddy, the OG. Visit DefyLifePods.com for our hub of all of our podcasts. So that's us, unsupervised, anything, everything, and nothing. Everything out there. Chap Dog, Best Man, everything. Pooh even got new power the second iteration of Power, Ghost, coming out there with Speak the Truth. I guess y'all will be talking about that soon, Pooh.
Man, we definitely deliberating on it. I'm getting with them now, and we're gonna do a short 30-minute show explaining and see if everyone's buying into it, to see how they feel about it. So that's gonna be the next show.
Cool, good stuff. Huh?
Hopefully by then I will have wrapped up the first series. I'm getting there. I'm creeping, brother. I'm in the last season.
Right.
So, I'm trying to. Hopefully I'll be ready to speak on the next show.
That's what's up.
Sequel by the time y'all start talking about it again. So
that's what's up.
No doubt. And lastly, definitely not least, y'all definitely check out DefyLifeGear.com for all of our gear. We got the blackout shirts freshly out there. Everybody, the Black Lives Matter, to stand with us, and I Can't Breathe versions. We got the King Shit and Queen Shit t-shirts. Y'all check those out. And we got some new stuff coming for y'all. Got a t-shirt dress coming for the ladies. So it's really dope shit coming. Al's got some shit in the mail right now that he should be happy with. So yeah, it's pretty dope. So before we move on, we just started talking about TV shows, and we hadn't done this in a while since I think at the point we stopped doing our weekly recommendations for TVs and shows and movies. We thought we were coming off quarantine and we weren't going to be able to do this shit much longer. But alas, 6 weeks later, we still here. Al, I checked out P-Valley.
Hey.
And it was everything you said it was, sir.
Okay.
It was everything you said it was.
You feel kind of guilty a little bit watching it.
Yo,
right?
I couldn't even, I had to like sneak and watch it almost. Like
yes,
in my own house, I'm a grown-ass man, and it's a TV show. It ain't like but I was like, I didn't let nobody else know I was watching it. So yeah, you're right. I felt kind of guilty watching it. But it was everything you said it was. So yeah, there's that, and I think I recommended something to you. What was it? Lovecraft Country. Yeah.
Yes. So I promised. I've been getting real good reviews on Lovecraft Country. Still haven't stepped into it because I'm still trying to finish Power before I jump into that.
Right.
But I'm saying you're probably one of 5 people that have said, dude, this is definitely something that, knowing what you like, you would appreciate this, and it seems to be some good show. So I'm gonna jump on that next.
Yeah, good. Really, really smart show. Love that show. Pooh, anything you've been checking out? Was the Ghost series? They got 1 episode in yet?
Yeah, they're 2 in.
2 in.
Ghost,
Okay.
Yeah, Ghost Book 2.
Right.
It's of course I thought it was gonna be a total flop because I figured, Amari and I forgot the kid that plays Tommy character. They were so strong, so I just figured that, the 2 main characters not being in it, and I figured there's no way Tyreek could pull a show, could carry a show. Mm-hmm. He couldn't be the Steph or the Durant. He can carry a franchise, but he seems to be doing well. He seems to be doing well, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. But I want to shout out, which is a movie been out for a while, and I was mad bored. So I said, man, let me try this out. Let me see what this about. So it was Napoli. I think it's Napoli Ever After. That's the name of it, right? Napoli Ever After.
Oh, yeah, it was Sanaa Lathan.
With Sanaa Lathan.
Oh yeah, that's a good movie.
I never seen it. It was good.
It was good. It was solid.
Really good.
Yeah, it was solid. It was really solid.
Yeah, really dope movie.
Okay.
Anything with Sanaa, and I'm checking out.
Right.
Yeah. It was definitely on the list for the Sanaa reason only, but nice to hear it's a good one.
Right.
Yeah, it's one of those coming of age as a grown up kind of
movies.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, really dope.
Okay.
But yeah, y'all definitely check those out. We ain't done our recommendations in a while, and y'all keep an eye out on GoDefyLife.com as well. Miggs has a new series dropping. Our movie man Miggs has original versus remake dropping. So being that a lot of movie theaters are closed and movies are limited outside of the home, Miggs has been checking out a lot of originals versus remakes and kind of comparing them and contrasting them.
Okay.
So it should be a good series. So
Right.
definitely check the site out. Oh, well, yeah, man. That's enough small talk, man. So something happened this weekend, y'all.
What was that?
The NFL, there was football back.
Oh, really?
Again, yeah. And I know in the show lineup, when I send the notes over, this was supposed to be later on, but I can't wait. So we're going to talk about some football first,
All right.
if y'all don't mind.
I'm all right.
I'm
good with it.
I ain't got no new gospel for you this week. First thing that we always ask, man, after every week, Al, what do you know about the NFL after week 1?
So, last week for that first month, last year for that first month, there was a lot of, we don't know much because this is week 1. So let me just go on and be the first to say it.
Right.
In 2020, it's just week 1. So, let's be careful in what we say. We know. But I do think it was a pretty interesting weekend in that, one, I don't think I need preseason football based on the quality of football that I saw.
Right.
And, for the injury sake and just really, do we need this? I'm definitely less of a believer that preseason football is a necessity. Other thing I know is that Kansas City fans, I know y'all whack for booing.
Man.
The
Unity.
a unity. The first thing that came to my mind when I saw that was Cat Williams saying you hating on bacon. Like,
Right.
who the hell boos unity, man?
Right.
Like, I was just really just kind of just disheartened, and just a reminder of why in this country I'm so discouraged at times because of the pace of things moving, because there's still people who boo unity, like just crazy to me.
It's worse than Philly fans booing Santa Claus.
Much worse. At least I could think maybe they Jewish, maybe they Muslim, maybe they don't celebrate Christmas. All right, it's a whole lot of reasons why I could understand somebody booing. Maybe you had a traumatizing Christmas and you didn't get a lot of toys, or you had a neighbor like my brother who would come over and break all your toys and then go back and play with his. Stuff like that, I understand. Booing unity, just don't get it. Talking about my Cowboys in particular, definitely I left with a same old spirit, just kind of like, damn, we still losing close games, regardless of the bad call at the end. I was hoping for a win on that first week, but it's still the first week. We had some tough injuries, but I did like some of the offense. The looked like I saw some twist in terms of what I saw from Zeke. He seemed to be a little different from last year, so that was good to see, and we just hope for better results going forward. But all in all, like I said, I think it was quality football, a lot of upsets. Defenses collapsing in the end, and I think that might have been a fatigue issue. But all in all, I was definitely encouraged by the quality of play this weekend.
Cool. Yeah, I'm with you, man. The quality of play was like above, like par to me. Even in comparison to a lot of week 1s in the past, where there has been a preseason and training camp and all that stuff. I've said this before, my only hang up with getting rid of preseason is, for the guys who are undrafted and drafted late to be able to prove themselves in game situations. So I think you see a lot of drop off with, a lot of undrafted rookies on rosters this year. The expanded practice squad kind of helps that out a little. So maybe they can find a happy balance moving forward. But
I saw a lot of because it was the first real game, and with some rookies, you saw some mistakes that you would see in a preseason game. Offensive linemen not picking up blitzing, just stuff like that. They would have worked out in real live competition and preseason game that they're having to work out on the fly.
Right.
But Still, that was to be expected, but I
Yeah,
think it was good football.
absolutely. Yeah, Pooh. What do you know after week one?
I know that there's no possible way I would have been able to make it without it. That's what I. Hey,
One
that's
more
what
week
I
we couldn't
know.
do it.
Right,
Couldn't go one more
right.
week.
That's what I know. I know. A lot of good players, man. They were. It was a lot of things I definitely expected. But a lot of things I didn't expect. Like I've been saying for the long. You know what? I'm not gonna get into that because I think I get into that a little later in the show. But like I say, I don't know if I would have been able to go without it. That's what I know. I know. And
So,
again, I do want to reiterate what Al said. I think preseason may be done
mhm.
because high quality football. Definitely not laundry written games. People going down. Any things like that. Those are the reason why they said we needed preseason. So I think it could be the demise of preseason and definitely 4 preseason games.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think the one thing I know, is Zeus. Like I don't even know if people realize this, but it's the most starting black quarterbacks we've had in the opening week of the NFL, and I thought it was refreshing to see that many brothers under center, and deservedly so. There were 11 starting quarterbacks who were of color this weekend.
Wow.
It's the most in history of the league, and again, um, it pales in comparison to the number of guys who were not even looked at as quarterbacks or looked at or made the switch positions, in the decades leading up to this moment. But it is great to see us represented in those kind of numbers. So shout out to the Patrick Mahomes, the Dak Prescotts, and the Cam Newtons of the world. We appreciate you guys. Shout out to all of you.
No doubt.
It's funny you say that because on Sunday as we celebrated kickoff, Sunday, and I called one of my uncles, and he actually made that observation, just like how far we've kind of progressed in his life in regards to just these top quarterbacks making top dollars and being the best in the league. This we got to a spot that he never imagined we would be. So made a
Right.
lot of progress.
Yeah, absolutely. So, um, it's just something to behold, and I think it's still growing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. So, Al, you mentioned it, with your Cowboys in particular. What were your takeaways other than the close game and the controversial call? What were your takeaways? And like you said, you can't really draw many conclusions from one week of action, but what were some things that you noticed that stood out to you?
Well, we had talked a few weeks ago about um, the loss of Gerald McCoy,
Mm.
and not sure how much of this is going to be a long term problem, but there was a lot of running right up the middle of our defense, and we did lose Van Dash early, and I'm sure that made it attractive in terms of attacking our defense. But that's definitely something they're gonna have to fix. Being able to stop the run just right up the gut. But from an offensive perspective, like I said, it was Zeke looked like he had a little pep in his step. Um, Dak, I think, showed command of the offense, which you should expect considering he's in the second year with working with Kellen Moore. But on the other side of it, though, as we were on that last drive and with the opportunity to tie and win the game, in my mind, I'm sitting here like, yo, Dak, here's your moment. Like, here's an opportunity to show that you have progressed and that you are on that next level in terms of QBs. And while he made some plays, at the end of the day, we didn't get it done. So I think when you look at quarterbacks like Mahomes and even Lamar, the expectations of these young quarterbacks at such a young age of getting it done, that's the standard. And so I think there'll be many more opportunities for Dak to get it done, but it's opportunities like that will demonstrate that he is worth the mega contract in so many people's eyes who are doubting him right now. So I like CD Lamb. Our offense with Cooper and Gallup, we got weapons. Offensive line was strong, and even with the call, the questionable going forward on fourth down, I definitely, I'll be honest, at the time was saying he should have kicked the field goal. And so it didn't work out. But at the end of the day, I'm not overly upset with the call, especially him being a new coach trying to win over the team and be aggressive. I can understand that, but at the end of the day, though, from a coaching perspective, my thought was kick the field goal and put the pressure on the Rams, and play with your defense. But it's a new NFL. There's a lot more aggressive coaching decisions that happen, so I get it. But all in all, I'm not too down from the weekend, which was surprising. Usually, any Cowboy loss, it's usually a rough Monday that going forward in the next week. But for some reason, no, I wasn't too down on the squad. So, okay. It was definitely, maybe it was just I'm so happy to have it back. I don't give a damn if we won, lost, tie, shit. It was just good to watch football. So it's good to be back.
Yeah, and the Rams are a quality opponent, so they ain't no slouch.
Yeah, true that.
Pooh, man, y'all pulled one out. What were your takeaways of y'all's comeback win against the Lions?
Mitchell stinks.
Yo, he played out. He pulled out in the fourth quarter.
Right.
He played well in the fourth quarter, but if he wouldn't have played so poorly, we wouldn't have been in that predicament. But I am happy that I don't know if I'm happy or not that he pulled it out, because that's just only going to make his leash longer. We had 0 third down conversions the entire first 3 quarters of the game. We had no third down. We didn't have any third down conversions. He was butt awful. He was Carl Lewis at 42 off. So like he was missing wide open guys. We in the marching down trying to get something on the board, and it's just a guy just standing 9 yards away from him, wide open, and he throw it egregiously behind him. But Mitchell, he's gonna. Like I said, he did do well in that fourth quarter. But if he plays like Mitchell did, we're not even gonna make. Once I saw that, I said, you know what, we're not gonna make the playoffs. We're only gonna win like 4 games this year. If we stick with him, that's what it's gonna be. Because more than likely he's gonna be who he is, and and it's not like Nick is surprisingly great quarterback. But he does move the change. He does move move it on third down, and he gets and he doesn't hold the ball. He releases it quickly. So that's all I need. We need someone to be in there and just to manage the game and give our defense a rest. Our defense practically been on the field the entire game. Mm-hmm. But I like some players though. Some guys really look good. They beat up on the rookie a little bit, Johnson. I think he had about 2 or 3 pass interference calls, but he made a few good plays. Kyle, he was steady, got a pick for us. Kyle Fuller.
Okay.
So, but Khalil, I don't know. He may be getting tired, man. I don't know.
Hey, I kind of noticed this last year. Khalil Mack like he's getting heavy.
Yeah, he doesn't
doesn't
slow. Look like Khalil. Right. Yeah, he doesn't look like Khalil. Yeah,
lost a step.
Yeah, I think he maybe need to lose about 10 pounds, man.
Yeah,
10,
and this is what year what for him? Year 8. Year 7?
Yeah, something like that. Year 7, about year 8. Yeah, year 8 or 9.
And I always say about, I said the same thing about, he reminds me a lot of Lamar Woodley. And I said the same thing about Lamar Woodley when he was younger. It's just his body type. He's not going to age well.
Right.
He's a thicker body type who as he puts on grown man weight, he's going to get bigger and slower and sluggish, like you said, Mac looks. So,
Right.
it may be time for that. I remember, in their early 30s, Ray Lewis, James Farrier, guys like that intentionally got down and lost weight so they could, for longevity's sake. So maybe it's time for Mac to do that, because I know late last year when I saw him, he looks heavy to me.
Yeah, he does. He doesn't look like he has. He has a strength. He was picking up guys with one arm, slinging them back, but he doesn't have that burst that he normally has.
Oh, well, too late to do it now. So next offseason, maybe.
Too late to do it now, right? It's too late.
Oh, all right. We mentioned quality play in the first week. That would probably. I don't think we were talking about your Jets though, Al.
Wow. Man, they look bad.
Can they like opt out of their season like the Big Ten, the Jets and?
Well, they could fake like a coronavirus infection and just say we gonna just be in quarantine for 2 months straight. But we knew they were going to be bad on defense, because without C.J. Mosley, Jamal Adams, and no real serious additions to the defense, you wouldn't expect them to be all that good. So, but I didn't expect Buffalo just to run up and down the field like they did the first quarter and a half on the Jets. But the offense just looked just totally out of sorts. It's still early, and I think when you are judging teams this season, teams that have young quarterbacks, young coaches, don't really have real established programs to build off of and just kind of rely on and prepare for this season, I think that's going to just show in the first month or so. And I think that's just kind of what happened with the Jets. From the blitzing and the lack of efficient offense that was occurring, but even from the Bell injury, and I should have took him out and didn't, and just kind of like that's some AAU Pop Warner coaching type stuff. Like, well, he said he was okay, so dog, you the coach. I understand that you want to give people leeway to be heroes, but at the end of the day, you got to be smarter and protect them from themselves, especially in a situation. This is early in the season. We know just because of the way they prepared this year, injuries like hamstrings, just strained muscles, Achilles, like all of these things, soft tissue injuries, I think are going to be real common as we play this season out. So I think you as a coach, you would want to be extra conservative in regards to situations like that. So really disappointing in terms of that coaching decision to let him play. But at the end of the day, though, the offense significantly lacks weapons. That's the bottom line. They're just on that offense, no playmakers. And in this day and age of NFL offense, when you lack playmakers, good luck. But I did like the rookie left tackle, Mekhi Becton, like an animal monster, held his own for the most part. And I think, as we build this season, that's going to be somebody that is going to be one of the high points of the season, just knowing that they got a left tackle for the next decade to build offensive line around. I was real happy when they drafted him, and definitely was watching to see how he did with his Buffalo defensive line, which is a good defensive line. And he definitely held his own, and on many occasions was just keeping the guy just, feet away from the quarterback. So definitely happy to see that. But yeah, they're gonna struggle. They're gonna really struggle.
Cool. Yeah, I mean they will. And I don't know, at what point do you because even before he got hurt, he didn't look good. At what point do the Jets admit that this the Le'Veon signing was a mistake.
Well, I think they will be able to always, with this offensive line, attribute the lack of success to Le'Veon.
Yeah.
But I think after this season, if the production stays the same, I could see them moving on and not wanting to pay, top dollar for a quarterback. I mean, for a running back. And if I'm Le'Veon, I would want to, at this point in my career, see if I can go somewhere and win and be part of an offense that could utilize what he still has left in the tank.
Right. Yeah. Well, hopefully it ain't back in Pittsburgh. So, but there is talk of that, and the way, speaking of my Steelers, we'll just talk about them now. But the way James Conner can't stay healthy, people are kind of mentioning that. But really good showing by the Steelers. Of course, the big story was Roethlisberger making his return, one day away from a year of his injury. So, it was good to see him back out there. You could tell he was nervous. He looks good physically. Probably the thinnest I've seen him since like year 2 or 3. So you can tell he's in shape, and he was putting in a lot of work during the offseason, but you can tell he was nervous, and he's self-admittedly and rightfully so. He didn't really look like, himself, and that offense didn't really look like itself until the last 2 minutes of the first half. And they started moving the ball and getting the ball into the playmakers' hands. You can see the jitters kind of go away. But it was good to see Ben, Juju, back on the field. Good to see the new additions. Chase Claypool made a beautiful catch on the sidelines. Eric Ebron made a good catch going across the middle. So it was good to see those new additions. What I felt terribly bad for the right tackle, Zach. Forgot his name. But he. We're talking about it all day. I can't believe his name escapes me. But Zach Banner. He first start after battling and winning the position in the offseason and tore his ACL. He's out for the season. He's the son of Lincoln Kennedy, for those who don't know. But yeah, a guy who came out of high school as a 5-star recruit, went to USC as an all-American recruit, and kind of never lived up to his potential, and due to weight issues, and was drafted on potential, but never really lived up to his potential because of his weight, and worked so hard to get in shape, won a starting job, and first game he gets hurt. So it's tough to see, but that's the way of life in the NFL, especially again with no preseason. All those injuries that we see in the preseason are going to happen early in the regular season. But the defense was dominant as expected.
They were shutting Saquon.
Man, 15 carries for 6 yards, like that's crazy. And to not even, I will say this, that I was impressed with Daniel Jones for the Giants. He was getting the ball out and making some accurate throws, but the Steelers made life difficult for him. So I was impressed, not really sure we saw enough to kind of solidify our hopes as a premier contender. But, anytime you can come out and get a double-digit win first week of the season with a lot of your guys back for the first time. So, and shout out to Benny Snell Jr. Again, James Conner got hurt early, and Benny Snell came in, a slimmed-down version of Benny Snell. Got some wiggle to his game now. So, most rushing yards in week 1. So, proud of the former Kentucky Wildcat. Good job, Benny.
Yeah, I was definitely impressed with their. I mean, I expected the defense. Pittsburgh always bring their defense, but I saw more weapons than I expected on the field. I mean, not everybody got to touch the ball, but it was definitely people when they were touching it. I was like, "Oh, who that?"
Yeah,
that dude looked like he might be a player. Where he come from? So I can't remember his name, but one of the wide receivers. It's not Washington.
Johnson.
Him. Yeah.
That's little AB. You know, they say he's
Okay.
you know,
Yeah, he looked like he had a little something in his step. I was
he
like,
does.
hey,
Yeah. So second year guy who, you know, earned a starting job last year, and so she'll see some big things from him. You know, again, second year from Toledo, so smaller school, still got some stuff to work out in this game, but really, really promising.
all right. Well, that's what y'all gonna need because y'all in a division with Baltimore and Cleveland, and even Cincinnati because the quarterback had a good game.
Right. Well, even
y'all got to score in y'all division.
we do, and you know, it's funny you say even Cincinnati, but you might want to put Cincinnati in the regular conversation and say even Cleveland, as bad as they look.
Oh, yeah. Oh man. But you know, in some of these games, it's kind of you're watching a game, and unless you watch the game, the whole game, I'm wondering was that Baltimore or was that Cleveland? And another example was Philly and Washington, and it's like Washington's defensive line balled out, but was that their defensive line, or is it also injury? Maybe overrated Philadelphia offensive line. And so I'm curious to see how the next few weeks we'll kind of see what it really was. But hopefully Cleveland, because I like Baker, and I definitely, even though he gets on my nerves sometimes, I really want Odell to be successful. So I'm hoping, and Myles Garrett as well. I'm hoping that they will be better than what they look in week 1 because they look terrible.
Yeah, they did. And I watched that game, and I'd say it was equally Baltimore good, Cleveland bad.
Okay.
But again, they just look like the Browns we're used to seeing. I could still see them coming back and, you know, having a good showing in week 2. So they look more consistent than inconsistent than they do bad.
So that's going to be, you know, that's kind of the sign of growth in this NFL with these young players, young teams. When you have adversity, how do you respond and rebound? And does it go from one loss to a string of losses? And then your season is kind of, you know, down the tube.
Right.
So good to see. It's going to be good to watch Cleveland with these young boys to see if they can, because they're not really young anymore. Really,
Right.
Odell has been in the league now, 5-6 years? So we're expecting him to bring it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, him and Landry, and you know, even Baker's in year 3. And it ain't like the old days. We give you 5 years. By year 3, you're supposed to be showing it.
So they got enough, and that's always been the story. But they got enough talent.
Yeah.
First round draft picks, high draft picks, all throughout the roster.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see. I mean, as we say all the time, culture means a lot. So until they can, you know, if they can completely wash that residue of the old cultures out of that locker room and off the mentality, it's going to be go see a lot of that show up.
Well, that kind of speaks to, again, going back to the Dallas Cowboy thing for a second, with a new coach, what's the culture? Right. You know, that was really a big part of people getting tired of Jason Garrett. And this, you know, he had a positive spin on everything. He, you know, tolerated so much. And a lot of that, oftentimes, people played into us not being successful after a loss. So curious to see how this turns out, and if we got a different culture, now's the time to show it. And all these losing teams, you know. So to go back to Washington for a second, the Washington team, they play Arizona next week. Shout out to Kyler Murray, who balled out. Both of them undefeated going into this game. So that means after next week, either Washington or Arizona will be 2-0.
Right. And sitting pretty. Mm-hmm. One of these young black quarterbacks is going to be the quarterback of a 2-0 team, and as young quarterbacks, like, that's definitely something to be confident and build your confidence, and you know, kind of be a good foundation for a good season. And I like both of those quarterbacks. Yeah.
You know, Washington, definitely a rival, so it's kind of hard to pull from too much. But just on a personal, the type of players I like to watch and how they compete, I like both those guys.
All right. Yeah. So, we'll enjoy it as long as we can, even if it's just until week 6, like Thomas Stevens told us. We'll have be back here next week to see what we know after week 2. So, all right, well, we're gonna jump into commercial really quick, and we'll be back to talk some NBA playoffs. All right, we'll be right back.
We're told that greatness is exceptional when it should be expected. You choose every day to live your life intentionally, without apology for how bright your light may shine. So go be great. Go be brilliant. Go be you. Go defy life. The Defy Life movement is one that speaks to each of us in its own way. Defy Life gear speaks to us all by reminding us that one size does not fit all. Visit defylifegear.com to get fitted for greatness.
Welcome back to episode 173 of the Defy Life Podcast. This is JR, Alvin, Thomas. Guys, we left off. We were talking some week 1 in the NFL. And like we said last week, we don't get to talk about this opening day in the NFL and NBA playoffs on the same show. So let's enjoy it, man. So I'm sitting here watching this game 1 of Miami and Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. As we speak now, 2 minutes left in overtime. Miami's up 113-110. Man, Miami's in the driver's seat to win game 1. Al, are you surprised or no?
Let's see. So, for the record, I like Boston in 7.
Okay.
So I'm not surprised because I'm expecting Miami to win 3 games. And I think Boston's youth grows up this series.
Okay.
So, in that scenario, I'm not surprised because for them to do that growing, they're going to have to face some adversity. And what a good way to start it off in terms of adversity, lose game 1. And that's only going to make a hungry Jimmy even hungrier. Like, he's the type of player, I got one. Oh, now I've done convinced these young boys that we can win. And now I'm really coming after the win. So I think in terms of the longevity of a series, Miami winning game 1 makes it more interesting for the NBA.
Okay. Pooh. Well, first off, give me who you got winning the series and then how many, since Al gave us his. And are you surprised that Miami could take game 1?
No, I'm not surprised at all. They're gritty, scrappy. They're defend extremely well, and they shoot the ball well. So when you have those combinations, it's hard to say that you're ever out of the game. So I'm going Miami in 7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. All right.
I'm saying that you got Kimba losing in 7.
Got Kimba losing in 7. The Kimba, y'all said was trash. That Kimba.
Go. Who said Kimba was trash?
I mean, I ain't gonna cop to calling him trash, but I will say that there were times when Money and Pooh would be, praising Kimba. And
you mean that man?
Kimba, who are they talking about? Like, Kimba Walker?
Yeah.
But I've been pleasantly surprised, impressed with, he's, just continued to be a great player. So, and just brought it to Boston, and they've rallied around him with the young boys and Tatum and Jason Brown.
They have, and trust me, if Miami wins this series, it won't be because they beat Kimba, and it'll be because they beat Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Like, Kimba's not their best player if Boston plays up to there. In order for Boston to be a championship level team, Kimba can't be their best player. You get what I'm saying?
But if he's their 3rd best player,
right,
they're lethal.
Right, exactly. So, but it's but again, like Fu said, it's like both of you mentioned. You give Jimmy Butler this kind of opportunity to take a game one and kind of look at those young guys in the eye, like, look, I told you so. Follow me, and him and Gordon Dragic, kind of lead this young team. It's interesting. So we'll see, but it wouldn't surprise me. And for sure, I don't think anybody should be surprised, especially if you guys are picking either team to win in 7 games. It could go either way.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. Again, as we mentioned earlier, we do have a game 7, and which has just started. Clippers up 2-0 over Denver, just early in the first quarter. Al, who you got pulling out game 7? Let's get this early before we get too deep.
So I would be a hypocrite if I went against what I told my son earlier this evening as he left the house, because he's a Nugget fan, and I did tell him I have this feeling Denver's going to pull it out, and I think part of it is that it's in the bubble and it's just neutral court, and it's been a long season. It's been a taxing season, and when it comes to energy, youth don't lack energies, and I just feel like what I saw, not just from the main two, but the team as a whole, was a team that just lacked the right energy, and that's in the Clippers. And I'm saying, that could easily carry over in a neutral court where there's no road or home team to provide that energy. You got 2 low energy guys in Leonard and George, and in the coach Doc. I mean, not that he's just a shy guy in the corner, but he's also not Bobby Knight either, right? So I'm from an energy perspective, I like Denver's energy coming into this game, and I'm going with the young boys. I'm going with Denver.
All right. Pooh, who you got taking game 7?
I'm rooting for the Clip joint, but I got a funny feeling that the Nuggets going to pull it out as well. But I'm rooting for the Clippers.
Okay. So, are you rooting for the Clippers because you like the Clippers? Or you think they got the best chance of beating the Lakers?
Yes, the latter.
Okay.
A better chance to beat the Lakers.
Man, you anti-Lake show, bro? That's
of
what
course.
Yeah, that's how Brian, you know that.
Of course. But y'all hollering about the Lakers, so that mean I don't like them.
All right.
I respect that. You got no beef with me.
Yeah, if y'all like them, I can't like them.
Oh man, well, as
I ain't never had no beef with the Steelers until Jay said he liked them.
Oh, word? You like the Steelers?
My mom's still a fan. My brother's a Steelers fan. But once Jay was like, "Yeah, that's my," I like, "Oh, I hate the Steelers.
I can't stand them too." Oh man, well, for the record, the Bears haven't been good enough in a while for me to not like them. So hopefully y'all get good enough where I can hate them. So they're good enough to deserve my disgust. I'll start hating them.
I feel.
But nah. So like I mentioned earlier, the Clippers obviously were built to beat LeBron. So they went and got Kawhi. They went and got Paul George. They went and got Marcus Morris. They have Patrick Beverly is a guy who's always had success going on LeBron. So they are built to combat LeBron, where they can send player after player and wave after wave to him. What they are not built for are 2 things. One, when they're playing the Lakers and Anthony Davis is the best player on the court, they can't beat the Lakers. And 2, when they're playing anybody but the Lakers, they look suspect at any given time. Do you think, Al, that like this one-track approach, and granted, it's not a bad idea, I guess, to combat yourself to defeat LeBron, but when you're only built one way because we see when things are going bad for the Clippers, they go bad. They don't adjust well. They're kind of a one-track team. Is this the correct way to go after it if you know LeBron's like at the top of the mountain and you're trying to get rid of him, or do you diversify yourself more?
Nah, I say go after the monster and believe that your guys can get it done against the what you believe is lesser team. So if I'm the Clippers, you've got George, you got Kawhi, and some real good role players that haven't been consistent. Right. And so, Lou Williams is somebody who, you're going to bet on and believe that in Game 7, he's going to show out. And he's going to play his role and get me 15 to 20 points. That's what it's going to take because and Patrick Beverley got to play lights-out defense. Like, I just think that's where they got to step it up, where you got to believe that Kawhi and Paul are going to lead the way and that you're going to get more consistent play from your team. But I don't have a problem with going after the king as you build your team because you got to believe that y'all going to end up playing in the Western Conference Finals. So you want to be ready when that time comes.
No doubt. Pooh, what say you? Is that the way to go about it, or do you make yourself more well-rounded?
I said get geared up, man, to chop down the big bad wolf. When Randy came in and they were doing any and everything they wanted to do to the Packers, and the Packers were the favorite before that, what'd they do? Man, you know what? We got to do something to stop Randy. So they drafted 6 straight cornerbacks, from the first round to the 6th round. Yeah. So I said go after the big bad wolf as well.
Okay.
And trust that your guys can get through, as Al say, the lesser competition, the mediocre competition. So
right. Well. Yeah, and I think that's the easier of the two is to take down the likes of the Nuggets or whoever else is out west. I think the harder thing to do is when Anthony Davis is performing as the best player on the court. It's impossible for the Clippers to beat the Lakers. They just don't have anybody who can stop him. He's unguardable. And then even as we talked about it last week, Kawhi's not the defender he once was, and he damn sure can't guard Anthony Davis even in his best days.
No.
Nobody can on that Clippers team. I don't think there's maybe one person in the league who can guard Anthony Davis when he's on point. So
maybe,
yeah, maybe. And he's hurt right now. He's got a torn Achilles. It's just tough, and it's just what's weird to me is that the Lakers were built as these two superstars who were gonna showtime and run their way, glamour their way to the finals, and the Clippers were built as this gritty, grimy team who was gonna be an all-world, all-time defensive team, and it's actually worked out the exact opposite. The Lakers are the defensive juggernaut, and the Clippers are the best offensive team in the league at this point. So it's just weird how perspective and how your reputation can differ from reality. But it's going to be a good series, whoever plays the Lakers.
I think, Clippers are the team that has the reputation and the guys with the credentials in terms of Kawhi, Beverly, and Paul George. But, I think people overlook because there was this sexy 1-2 offensive juggernaut and Anthony and LeBron. But they overlooked that LeBron is a good defensive player and Anthony, David well. You also got Rondo coming off the bench. You had Avery Bradley, Dwight, Danny Green, Caldwell Pope. All these guys, like Caldwell Pope,
McGee.
Coming to the Lakers was a defensive stopper with Detroit.
Yeah, Right.
So, these are you put these guys on the court, and with defensive quarterbacks like LeBron and Rondo orchestrating and teaching, I'm not shocked, honestly, that they're playing the great defense, especially in this environment where you can really kind of focus in on people's tendencies,
Right.
and LeBron adjusts well from game to game to game.
Yeah, that's so true. But either way, we'll definitely see. I think it'll be an entertaining series, whether it's the Clippers or the Nuggets. I'm just gonna, of course, I want the Nuggets to pull this out. Pull it for the underdog, but I'll go. I ain't gonna make it unanimous. I think the Clippers pull it out. And Boston just went down 0-1, so game's over. So hell of a play by Bam to block Jason Tatum's dunk at the end of the game.
Huge play.
All right. So this is gonna be fun, man. It's only after the night, we'll be in. 4 teams will be left. So we'll talk about this deeper next week when we got more information. So, question of the week. Really good question. So, our question this week is from Justin in St. Louis. Pooh, you first. What current or former NBA player would be an NFL Hall of Famer if he played? It's kind of hard to guess, but...
What current NBA player would be an NFL Hall of Famer?
Well, he said current or former. Let's just go with current. Because
Okay.
we kind of got a lot of information on like old
Right.
players. Let's go with current players.
Because former, I would have jumped out there and I would have said Charlie Ward because that was
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right. We already. Yeah.
Okay, so current, current, I'll probably. Man, it's hard to say. Not this kid, man. I really hate to say this, but I would say Bron.
I was about to say anybody but LeBron because, special dudes like that could probably be a Hall of Famer in hockey if you wanted to.
It's just, but I'm just going by his, his stature and just his build and freakish. I mean, we probably been a freak DN, but
Well, he was an all-state wide receiver in high school.
Who?
Bron.
Oh, I didn't even know Bron played football. Okay, so I can't go with that. Can't go with Bron. Can't go with Charlie Ward. Can't go with AIDB. Can't put.
You can go with Bron. You can go with Bron. He's a current player.
Nah, I'll pull out something else.
Okay.
Let me go with Paul George. Let me go with Paul George at corner. He just remind me, just his mentality, person. He just remind me of Richard Sherman.
Right, put a 6'9" corner out there.
So I'm gonna say Paul George.
Okay.
He's only 5 inches taller than Richard Sherman.
Cool. Well, good thing about George, you wanted to buy him a helmet. You can just strap a chin strap to his fro, and it look like a helmet. Pull his hairline down over his eyes a little bit. Strap a chin strap to it. You'd be good.
Get him out there.
Yeah. Save some money on the salary cap. All right, Al, what say you? What current NBA player would they lace them up in the strapped up the shoulder pads and helmet? What could be a Hall of Famer in the NFL?
So, I'll be honest. My first thought was Zion, and just having him like as a 6'7" DN, 3-4 rush linebacker.
Forgot about Zion. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I think his quick muscles, twitch muscles, that agility, acceleration, I think would be formidable coming off the end. But instead, I'm looking at somebody that I would probably put as a strong safety and like an in the box safety and Marcus Smart.
Okay. That was one of mine.
Yeah, and just kind of try to see him as my Jamal Adams type player, where he's gonna be doing all types of line in different positions and coming from all different types of areas, but hard-nosed player. So I'm going with Marcus Smart.
Okay. Yeah, he was one of the ones on my list. So I'm gonna go with Patrick Beverly. I'd line him a little tough, gritty SOB at nickelback. Let him, blitz off out on the outside a little bit. Let him cover up your slot receiver and just get on people's nerves. I think that's the biggest thing. Is like everybody in the NBA is an athlete. We know. I think it's the mentality that would allow them to switch over and be a football player. So guys like Paul George and Marcus Smart, Patrick Beverly, one thing they all have in common is they are tough.
Right. PJ Tucker.
Right. Yeah, PJ Tucker. Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the Morris twins, like guys like that.
Definitely.
Yeah. So it's not just about being gifted athletically. It's all those guys you see are like tough, gritty, like as old coaches say, football playing Jessies. You can see them on the field. So those three are damn good picks to me. All right. Well, appreciate your question, Justin.
Yes, sir. Great question.
Yeah. But as Charles Barkley said, that ain't an easy transition to make. Charles Barkley said the first day he got it in football practice, and he realized at that point he was going to be a great basketball player.
Totally different sport.
Because he knew football wasn't for him. So if y'all got any questions for us, you disagree with something we say, or if you just want to get something off your chest, y'all feel free to reach out to us. You can email us at info@godefylife.com or hit us up on social media at godefylife on all platforms. Let's wrap this thing up, man. Pooh, you ready for some trivia?
Let's get it done, man.
All right.
Let's get it done.
What you got for us?
Let me go to my stuff and open. Let me open it up. All right. So what we're doing. My bad. So what we're doing is we're gonna go to NFL and we're gonna do the NBA. All right, and we're gonna do the longest active playoff droughts in history. All right. Well, active playoff droughts right now. Okay. We're gonna do NFL and we're gonna do the NBA. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna seesaw, and you're gonna name a franchise and how many years that franchise hadn't made the playoffs. Since the last time they made it, you're gonna get that point amount.
Okay.
And at the end of the game, when there's no more teams on the list, that'll be the biggest number, of course, is our winner.
Okay.
So let me get myself together. One moment. Let me get the list out. Okay, so there are. Y'all want the long version or you want the short version?
And I don't know which is which.
Yeah, right.
It's true. Okay, so we'll do the. Oh wow, something just broke in here. Somebody just broke something. We're gonna do the top 10 NFL.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Let me go over to basketball, and we are gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna do the top 10 NBA as well.
Okay. So if I guess somebody who's not on the list, then what?
Bum bum.
Oh, okay. Just checking. You suck.
Right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. That's okay. All right. Jay.
Yo. So me first? All right.
Yeah, probably start first.
Let me go Cleveland Browns.
Oh, so you go with NFL.
Oh. Yeah, you said we're going top 10 NFL, right?
Yeah, well, boy, you got NFL or NBA.
Oh, we're going top 10 either way? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go Cleveland.
Okay, Cleveland. Okay, Cleveland Browns, Jay. That's 17. Been 17 years. So,
Damn.
You have 7.
Me and Pooh was roommates last time they went to the playoffs.
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
damn. This is the playoffs or to the Super Bowl?
And it's crazy. I remember the last time they went in the playoffs because by chance they had to play the Steelers. You remember that game, Pooh? We were at the gym. Me, you, Cole, all of us were at the gym at the rec playing ball, and it was snowing that day. And the Steelers were down by 17. And I was like, man, screw this, man. Let's just go play. And I came back, them kids that took the lead.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Dang. And I done gave you 17 points to Al.
Oh, no, don't do that.
Let me edit that. All right,
I have to.
And of course that was the team with the most amount of years. So
Okay.
the NFL. Yeah.
I'll throw the Jets out there.
All right. I suppose that's the NFL. New York Jets. It's been 9 seasons since they made the playoffs.
Wow.
Okay. So 9. All right, Jay, on you. 8 more NFL teams.
And NBA hard because they be making the playoffs like just randomly.
Right.
I'm gonna go NBA. I'm gonna go. Oh, Al, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with the Knicks.
Damn.
Okay. Let me go NBA-izzle. New York Knicks. It's been 7 seasons.
Wow.
2013 Eastern Semifinals. And so, 7 years, Jay. Al.
Let me try to go with Tampa Bay.
So you're still on NFL. Gotcha. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A feather in your cap. 12 years.
Good one.
Mm-hmm. Way to try to gain some ground. All right, Jay.
All right. Let me go. Let me go with the Raiders. Oakland/LA/Las Vegas.
The Raiders.
Raiders.
Let me see where we at. The Raiders. It's been 3 years since the Raiders been in the playoff.
That's it?
Yeah.
Dang. Who took them to the... Oh, Carr did take them to the playoffs.
Carr took them to the...
year.
Yeah. So let me put the 3
in the top 10.
Yeah, you
okay.
get.
Okay.
Sure.
Get something.
I'm pretty sure you get. I think you're right at the cusp. Oh. Ooh. Good for you to top for 10.
Woo, I'll take it.
Wow. Barely.
Right. Right. On you, Al.
Let me go NBA. Let's go Sacramento.
Sacramento Kings.
They ain't been in there since what's the boy that keep tearing his Achilles?
Who, DeMarcus Cousins.
Oh,
Yeah, but I don't think he ever
Yeah.
made the playoffs, so it might be
No,
before
it
him.
might be
Devin,
Weber.
maybe. I just want to let you know that is the number one answer.
Ooh.
Yeah, 14 seasons.
Wow. Go.
Yeah, I know he never made it.
On you, Jay.
Let me go. NFL, let me go Cincinnati.
Okay.
Mm.
Cincinnati Bengals. It's only been 4 years, Jay.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't like crazy long.
Yeah, but you just get the for sure points.
Right.
Yeah. All right, Al.
Let's go with. How about the Hawks?
Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta Hawks. It's been 3 years.
That's top 10?
Yeah. You're good.
Okay.
You're good. So, let me see. Years. On you, Jay.
Let's go NFL again. Let's go on the Washington football team.
Washington football team. Again, 4 years. Should let y'all add the point total up. Okay, Al.
Man, we can't be doing your job. Hold
You're
on,
right. You're right.
Anybody say the Bengals? Not the Bengals, the Cardinals.
The cardiac cards. Let's see where they at. The cardiac cards. Excuse me. Also 4.
Okay.
4 years. I'm trying to think. Oh, Carson Palmer and them boys. All right, Jay.
Let me go. Man, it's difficult in the NBA because the bubble. Trying to think of who I ain't seen in a while, but all these dudes I keep saying.
Oh, yeah, right. That's a good way to do it. Okay. Wait a minute. Yeah.
All right, so let me go NBA. Let's go. Damn, they was just there in the bubble. Man, I can't.
Man, that's like 10 seconds.
5.
Let's go Chicago Bulls. Sorry, bro.
Chicago Bulls. Okay. 3 years. 2017. Yeah. First round exit out of there. 3 years. Feel some kind of way about that. You just gonna put Bulls out. All right, Al.
Let me go with Phoenix.
It's a good one. Phoenix Suns. 2010 Western Finals.
Oh, wow.
10 years ago.
Let's go. Man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that Stoudemire? Like, who's playing with them 10 years ago? That's
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Gotta be. Remember them and Kobe them and Kobe hit the.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Game 7, isn't it? I think they went to 7.
That's what is Nash with them then?
Yeah, Nash was there.
Okay.
Yeah, Nash was there. Let me see where we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 8 left.
Yeah.
Out of the 2. Yeah.
8 total?
Yeah, 8 total. Yeah. On you, Jay.
Man.
5, 3, 2,
Yeah, let's go.
1. Throw something out there.
Carolina Panthers. Shit, I don't know.
Carolina Panthers. NFL The Carolina Panthers. Just missed it. They're not in the top 10.
Man.
It's only been 2 years. The last Cam hurt the last 2 years. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so let me give you that goose egg right there. All right, Al.
How about the Wizards, Washington Wizards?
The Washington Wiz. Off to meet the Wizard. Ooh. Washington Wizards, 2018 first round. 2 years ago. You're good.
Okay.
Just made it.
Wow. Let me stay in a city then. Let me go to Charlotte Hornets.
You forgot Kimmel been on the shaking. 2016 first round. 4 years.
Okay.
All right, Al.
Have we said the Dolphins yet?
Have we said the Dolphins yet? Miami Dolphins. Says 3 years ago. Miami Dolphins 3 years.
Okay.
3's the point total. All right, Jay.
Denver Broncos.
Oh, damn.
Denver
Damn.
Broncos.
That's who I was guessing.
Denver Broncos, 4 years, Jay.
Okay.
All right, let me see what we are. Okay, so Al on you. So Jay, you're at 9. Al, you're at 8. So we got 2 more.
How about Detroit Lions?
Detroit Lions.
And if they're not there, I meant to say Detroit Pistons.
Detroit Lions. It's been 3 years.
All right.
Jay, make it count. It's your last one, brother.
Shit, I'm gonna have to go with the Pistons. Okay.
He found some money. I'm gonna pick it up.
Right.
Right.
I know they ain't been there since Bron been in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Because that was that Stanley dude that thought he was.
It says 2019 first round.
Last year? Wow. Okay.
2019. They didn't make the list anyway though.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a goose egg. Al, last one, brother. Make it count.
I'm gonna go with let's go with somebody from the.
Yeah,
Damn, I can't.
Blake was hurt, right? Blake was hurt, and they made the playoffs.
Yeah, I do remember now. Yeah.
Damn. Damn. Everybody I want to guess is in the playoffs.
All right.
5, 4, 3.
The Chargers.
The Chargers. It's only been a year, but they didn't make the list.
Okay.
Yeah. So you get an egg for that one. Now, let me tally it up for a second. All right. Let me see. We get Al. 9 plus 12 plus 14 plus 3 plus 4 plus 10 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3 equals 60, Al.
Don't forget about my triple point.
Huh?
Remember that, Al. 60.
60, got you.
All right. Jake, we're on you. 17 plus 7 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4
I had a whole bunch of singles.
3 plus 4 plus 4 equals 46. That makes Al our grand prize winner.
Hey.
Al?
Good game, man.
Appreciate you.
No doubt.
Appreciate you. Good contest too. I like that right there.
Appreciate it.
All right. Well, shit. Al, you won. What's your parting shot, man? What you got for me?
So my parting shot is sometimes I actually have something this week. Sometimes you have a situation that's an either or. Sometimes you have a situation that's a both and. In this next case, I think it's a case of the both and, which is people. You had a response to the NFL and how they've been dealing with Black Lives Matter and this social injustice movement, and part of the fact that the unity, the demonstration in Kansas City, I like that. The variety of how teams are dealing with it from stadium to stadium. Some teams standing inside during the national anthem. Some players are kneeling, some players not. People holding hands. I thought that was a good thing. I also think, though, the criticism of the NFL, particularly you heard something coming from Kaepernick and Eric Reed recently, I think that was kind of justified as well in that I think there is a certain level of this is good for business and PR behind it. And while they are and very quick to say that they're sorry for their stance on, people kneeling in the past, there's a certain level of, for me, like, I really don't feel like y'all are in a substantive way down for the cause. And so I think in this case, the you can be doing something right and be getting appropriately criticized for not doing enough. And I think that's what is going on right here with the NFL, and they just need to continue to do more because they have a lot to make up for.
Right. Well said. I absolutely agree. All right, Pooh, what's good? What you got for me?
Man, I don't have a lot. I was just ecstatic to have that Sunday with the football, man. I was eager to see a lot of guys. I was eager to see that Arizona Cardinal with Kyler and Newt. I was eager to see the Skins and the Bears and just whomever. And I can't wait for Thursday night.
Week two.
Amen. I just want to speak about perspective for a little bit and being able to control your emotions. So I get a text Saturday evening from one of Lincoln's assistant coaches from his football team, and he texted me and said, "Hey, I got an opportunity to play to have a tackle season for a team that's playing. If if y'all are interested." So I called Lincoln up first and I was asking him if he's interested. Well, first I called the coach, and I called him. I was like, "So what's going on?" He was like, "So one of actually Lincoln's team's biggest rival, they're an independent team, so they are in the same conference as Lincoln, but they're not sponsored by a school, so they can kind of do whatever they want to do." So they have been practicing, working out, and preparing for a season. Rounding up teams that are still playing within the state. So that was my first question: is who is it? He was like, yeah. She told me who it was, and said it's like 5-6 of our players that are out there now. It's going really good. The coaches are good with them, even though they are, our biggest rival. It's a way to have a season for this year, and we go back to normal next year. So I was like, okay, respect. So I was like, well, who are we going to play? Because all the other teams, most of the other teams in the conference are shutting it down. So he's like, there's one other team in the conference that's playing, and then there's a couple teams in Charlotte, one in Greensboro. So it's about 6 teams that are playing. I was like, okay. So I talked to Lincoln. Of course, he all in. So he got me all in and hyped up, and then we talked to my wife. And, she quickly put it into perspective. She's like, no, like, we put them in a virtual school this year for that reason, like, so they won't be exposed to any, just in case. So we ain't going to send them out to a football field and expose them right back to that, to a bunch of people who we don't know what they're doing. It ain't like they got any kind of regulations on this. It's just a bunch of dudes running the football season. And that quickly got shut down. So I say that to say, whenever you get into your emotions, especially as a dude, I always say one of the main functions and primary functions as a woman in a man's life is to stop him from doing stupid shit. So as pragmatic and thoughtful as I can be at times, football kind of takes me into my emotional side. So it's good to have a woman in your life that can kind of bring you back to say, no, nigga, that's stupid. We ain't going to do that. So shout out to my wife.
No doubt.
Yeah. So that's all I got. Y'all, it's been a good show. We'll ready for week 2, Pooh? Can't wait.
Doubt.
Can't
wait.
So,
Bart Scott, can't wait.
Can't wait.
Based on your prediction, Pooh, we like halfway through the season.
Halfway through the season.
Hey, but they're handling things better than I anticipated.
Oh, yeah.
True that.
Yeah, shout out, the daily testing and all that stuff. So.
Right.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know teams. They have teams staying in hotels.
I
they were gonna do that.
Yeah. So shout out to them. We was treating them like they was just a bunch of dudes running the season.
Like there wasn't $1 billion on the line.
Right. Man, we was talking to cash code shit about what they wasn't doing. So,
right. Like it was us running that shit.
Right.
Man, fuck it, man.
We're going to have a Defy
what's
Life.
the big deal if somebody gets sick?
We're going to have a Defy Life cookout and an NFL season. Same day.
Right.
Oh, man. All right. Well, good luck to all of your teams. Everybody out there, enjoy week 2. And enjoy the NBA playoffs. We'll talk to y'all next week. Until then, Defy Life.
Defy Life.
Defy Life.
Best Medicine Podcast with Simba, sparking positive change in the community, having real conversations and therapy. You know that laughter's the best remedy. Got that heavy dose of humor for your hearts to heal. With mental health, it can't get any more real, yeah. Best Medicine Podcast. Laugh, love, learn. Best Medicine Podcast.
Best Med Pod, it's your man Simba Roar back in this thing one more time, bruh. Come get your weekly diagnosis Thursday at midnight, only on the Defy Life Podcast Network. Check us out, though.